Global News has learned that the United States government is ramping up its campaign for the Canadian government to spend more on the military and defense. Sources say in an unusual move, the U.S. Embassy delivered an official diplomatic letter to Ottawa, described by one source as a blunt criticism of the Trudeau government's commitment to defense spending and calling on Ottawa to meet NATO spending targets. Former Defense Minister Peter MacKay says the letter is a sign of serious frustration.
Diplomatic slap, not on the wrist, but in the face. Sending a démarche is really ratcheting it up a notch. You know, the next step is you call the ambassador in and give him a tongue lashing.
Multiple sources say the Americans are sick of Canada's lack of military spending, and that frustration has been building in recent months. It's been repeatedly communicated, those sources say, to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government in public and behind the scenes. Of particular concern, Canada's inability to defend the Arctic amid increasing Russian and Chinese presence. President Trump has often demanded NATO members increase their spending.
They all made commitments, and they will be up to 2%.
In 2014, Canada pledged to spend 2% of GDP on defense, the target for all NATO members.
We committed in the declaration yesterday to the Wales agreement, which moves us towards 2%.
But so far, that's nowhere in sight.
Canada is not on a path to live up to the commitments that we were signing up for.
Canada currently spends 1.27% of GDP. That's scheduled to rise to 1.4% in 2026. But beyond that, internal documents leaked to Global News show a dramatic drop in spending again. Canada currently ranks 6th in NATO. Asked about the letter on the West Bloc, Defence Minister Harjit Sajjan defended his government's record, saying they've increased defence spending and have troops deployed all over the world.
We have had the largest presence in Europe since the end of the Cold War. We're leading a battle group in Latvia. We're leading a naval task force in the Mediterranean, and now for the second year in a row, we're also leading the NATO training mission.
On Saturday, U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien was in Halifax, where he said that Canada needs to be in a position to defend itself and defend its values. Robin, multiple sources say that defense spending is the priority for the U.S. government when it comes to Canada. They're deeply concerned about the vulnerability of the Arctic, but there's no indication so far that Justin Trudeau's government plans to raise defense spending beyond current levels they've already committed to.